Contestant 3, Zainab Yusuf. Don't fear, Charles is here. Don't fear, Charles is here. Zainab Yusuf.
Alpha 1, Bravo 1, do you read me? I have reached safe and sound, all clear, over and out. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I was talking to my security commandos. If you see army knives, machine guns, and walkie-talkie floating in the air, do not panic. They are my hired, rental, invisible commandos. Surprise contest chair, pondering panel of judges, and my wandering audience. Good evening.
Good evening.
Living a life of a tall-tale finalist is easy, you think? No, it's not at all cool. There are 3 reasons for it. No one ever believes you after you give a tall-tale speech. Second, no one ever takes you seriously. And the third most important reason is your life is no longer safe. Let me explain. Yesterday, I attended a funeral. The priest, knowing that I'm a Toastmaster, requested me to deliver an eulogy in 5 to 7 minutes. So, I began. The moment I started my speech, all those mourning and weeping started laughing, just like you all. The dead body too giggled from the coffin. And not only that, the skeletons from the neighboring graves started shouting, "Once more! Once more!" That's not all. Last week, Charles called me. Not DTM Charles, Prince Charles. Queen Elizabeth was suffering from maidophobia. So I was picked up in my pajamas at midnight and was teleported all the way to England. Why? Just to make the Queen laugh? So what I thought was, why not deliver my own award-winning maidophobia speech? So I delivered. And you know what happened? The Queen didn't laugh at all. In fact, she cried her hearts and brain out. Prince Charles, on seeing her mother's heart and brain on the floor, literally on the floor, asked me to donate my organs in compensation. But I was smart, like always. I asked my husband to pay for it. That's the reason he's heartless and brainless. My problems do not end here, friends. They have increased manifold after the semi-finals. I have been kidnapped 1,000 times by my opponent Toastmasters. I have been a victim of failed 108 assassination attempts. And not only that, on my WhatsApp and Facebook, I only get threat messages, not love messages or joke messages. This is my life. As usual, today on my way to ACK, I got kidnapped once again, but this time by 2 little Cavaliers. They carried me to their club on the tricycle. How could I manage on a tricycle? But anyway, I managed. The president of that club, he was so thin that he could easily glide between the raindrops without even getting wet. He was thinner than a toothpick. And when he walked, he swayed like a flag on a windy day. So he used weights to stand steady. He came to me and said, "You are Zainab Banyan? Open up her brains and transfer all the punchlines to our Cavaliers before the contest starts." I was sure my day had come. I was feeling sorry for my unfulfilled dreams. I won't be able to feel the touch of the long, large, 6-inch, what? I'm talking about new Samsung Note 6. I will die before chartering a new club in Antarctica? Oh my God, this is not done. In my mortal fear, I clutched this pin that my Toastmaster mom, Wafa Salman, had given me. Lo and behold, the powers of Toastmaster revealed. And you know what? It sent a distress alarm to division or director. And within a blink of eye, DTM Charles opened the door with the knock of his knuckle. And when he walked, the earth clattered and rattled. He threw his black coat on the floor and showed his 32-pack abs. He just stomped in rage, 150 pounds foot on the floor, throwing all the Toastmasters in diverse directions. And within seconds, Division O Army, Navy, and Air Force arrived to rescue me, and I came here in front of you. Dear contestants, today whoever is the winner, do not fear, because DTM Charles is here. Over to you.